Manvers, once a part in history in terms of the revolutionary coal mining industry. It's areas like Manvers that helped create the country we live in today. The Manvers main colliery was situated near Wharf, a major village within the industry, and was home to the Wharf main colliery, which is now known as the Lake. It's certain to say that the whole region has drastically changed over the past 30 years since the miners' strike, which started in another nearby pit in the Corton Wood colliery. Manvers today, however, has completely changed since the era of coal mining, boasting call centres and warehouses, as well as its own suburban areas and houses, all right next to the biggest attraction of the region. Manvers Lake. This 45-acre nature reserve was actually at once home to a huge coal colliery which closed in the 1980s, that was then flooded when Rotherham Council began a regeneration programme in the area, thus turning the former colliery into what it is today, attracting a large variety of different wildlife to it in the process. The lake itself, alongside the Oldmore RSPB Nature Reserve next to it, helped bring back life to the former abandoned area. To learn more about the area, I spoke to Mick, a local with more extensive knowledge of Manvers.
Manvers stretches roughly 3 miles. From the Old Moor in the west, a nature reserve, popular with old, young alike, and it's a marvellous entertainment and information. All the way to the east, Manvers was. This was roughly in the middle where Wharf main colliery was. We're on a headland in the middle, basically, of Wharf Lake, surrounded by water on 3 sides. And here was built memento to various things what went off those days. We've got 3 railways. There's one, Midland Railway. This signifies Wharf main colliery here, where 2 shafts were laid. Busy pit. Employed up to 3,000 men, but that is a lot of people in a pit. All operations went off just beyond there, coal and coke, the washing of, the cleaning of. These signify everybody involved with this area.
What's this particular one? Princess Brampton.
Another workshop, another railway, Wharf Central School, Wharf Comprehensive, another workshop, less than a mile away. Anthracite made, along with the coke and coal, hence the washing plants. Brampton Junior School, another workshop in the olden days. Back on Wharf Comp. Within a 10-mile radius of this area where we stand, there was 45 pits, which is a bit mind-boggling, but nevertheless, that's what it was. Lots of things were made out of coal, all heating materials, coke, fossils. Here we have the Dearne and Duff Canal. Just beyond where we stand, back on dry land as it were, there's a dual carriageway, and just beyond that is Wharf High Street. Well, Wharf High Street, this side of Wharf High Street, was a canal, which was another reason, on top of the 3 railway stations in Wharf, which is a lot, another reason for supplying areas away from the enormous marshalling yards. The marshalling yards were from where we stand, which was Wharf Colliery, all the way up to what was Manvers Colliery, just in the distance. And it was the biggest marshalling yard in Europe, which takes a wee bit believing, but that's what's fact. 50 years ago, Manvers Lake was still in the middle of a massive industrial complex. In the middle of the lake, at the headland, was Wharf Colliery. It had 2 shafts, a very busy pit. Carrying on eastward, past the now cafe and boathouse, was the largest marshalling yard in the country, serving 2 collieries. An enormous setup. Also enormous was the coke ovens and the soaking pits and all the necessary buildings and equipment and facilities required for such an operation, employing thousands of people. At the end of all this was one of the largest collieries in the north, called Manvers, Maine. In its heyday, there were 45 pits within a 10-mile radius of Waff, which had 3 railway stations, which in turn tells you how busy this industrial area was. Reverting back to the lake, however, it has proved to be a very busy and popular place to be. Fishing, kayaking, canoeing, you name it, just walking a dog even, is very relaxing. Whilst people in the past may have said thousands of jobs have been lost by the closure of pits and all those associated with the pit, time has moved on and regeneration has now supplied literally thousands of jobs through new companies, call centres, warehouses, all now established on the Manvers.
Since the lake is quite the attraction to the locals, especially on a warm summer's day, it seems very tempting to have a little swim. However, swimming in lakes like these can be deadly. What may seem like shallow water will soon immediately turn into a deep trench, since the lake itself was a former pit. And since it's just a mining pit, but flooded, the currents in the lake are strong enough to submerge even the strongest swimmers. To make matters worse, the temperature in certain parts of the lake can go from a nice and relaxing temperature to below freezing in just an instant. Since 1997, there have been reports of 3 teenagers that have drowned in the lake trying to swim. So no matter how beautiful the lake looks, to some people affected by the loss of loved ones, it's known as a killer.